bitch stole my look. Who does that person think they are? Raise your hand if you've gone through that. All of us? Wow. What's up, Astro T Podcast? As you can see in the title, we are going to talk about how to steal like an artist and really how to emulate our idols and really emulate what has already been done and get to the simplicity of creativity. Whether you are a content creator, whether you are in fashion, whether you're a music artist, we all deal with that bitch stole my look moment. We all deal with, I can't believe they took that from me, that is my idea. And I just want to tell you guys that it is okay to steal like an artist. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're tapped into this podcast and you want to learn how to grow your brand, learn how to grow your fashion style, and really how to expand as a fashion influencer. That's what I'm here for. Again, my name is Supernova Jazz. It's so nice to meet you. And if you haven't been here, hey bestie, welcome back. It's time to sip some Astro tea and really prepare ourselves for achieving our goals when it comes to starting from the bottom. So, for so long, I had a lot of resistance when it came to creating my work as a plus size fashion model that turned into a content creator, that turned into influencing, that turned into podcasting. I've met so many people where I've learned that a lot of what I do has rubbed off on them and I feel like super robbed. Raise your hand if you've gone through that. All of us? Wow. Comment below when you've had a moment where you felt like you were totally being robbed, whether it was from a close friend, a follower, whatever. And then after you comment that, I just want to tell you, bestie, we didn't get robbed. Nope. No, you don't get robbed because honestly, when you're emulating something, you're really making what is already your own. And when it comes to spiritualism, the Akashic records tell you that every thought, every idea, every concept has already existed. We just tap into those energies. We open up that book of that Akashic record of whatever is really inspiring us and we make it our own. I've been listening to the Audible Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, and honestly, the consensus of this book is that we do not have to wait to get to know ourselves, to have this full breakthrough moment in order to feel like we can take up space as content creators, as artists. Like, you can start based off of what you are seeing is working. If you read that book, let me know because I haven't finished it. But yeah, I feel super inspired to talk about just the concept of stealing. And when does it get too far? Especially in fashion, right? That's the niche that I'm in. It's astrology, fashion. But when it comes to both, I've experienced being stolen from or stealing in both experiences because you get inspired about this new concept that you're into and you see how you can take up space, right? And you can be your authentic self without having to reinvent the wheel. We see the power of emulation every day. We see Beyonce is the product of Diana Ross. We see Michael B. Jordan being the emulation of Denzel Washington. Madonna walks so Lady Gaga can run. And Anne Hathaway is the modern depiction of Audrey Hepburn. So we see that sometimes it's not about being a carbon copy, but emulating the artistry of generations that are conforming to the current generation and the constraints and the hardships that are happening, because it is known that the best artistic movements come from some of the hardest times, like the Depression. Right now we are experiencing here in the States crazy inflation, right? And when you have these boxes that you're being put into based on the generational circumstances, you're being driven to be that much more creative. The pandemic birthed so many millionaires, so many entrepreneurs, so many people quit their job because of the time and the space and the stressors that put people into their creative selves. So when it came to my research and my studies on what is deemed appropriate when it comes to stealing or being inspired or emulating, and what is just straight up wrong, theft, copying, bitch stole my look. So fashion designer and fashion mogul Virgil Abloh spoke about the 3% rule. And his rule was that he could steal anything as long as he remade it by 3%. This rule wasn't an excuse for him to just be lazy and steal from someone else. This 3% rule was really the constraints of society's resistance to change and following tradition versus straddling innovation and wanting something new. So we'll usually see some of our basic items that we are so obsessed with just slightly be enhanced as collections and as generations go on in fashion. A lot of us won't just hop into maybe a very futuristic, innovative sense of style because it just would be too much of a shock value. But if we slowly moved into a new style, as we've seen in the past, 20s to now, we've seen how fashion has really elevated and evolved based off the new generation stealing a style from the previous generation. Another example is Cristobal Balenciaga and the way he stole a lot of his designs from Mademoiselle Coco Chanel. It is known that the two were friends back in the day when they were very much in their limelight. However, when Coco Chanel passed, Cristobal Balenciaga did steal and buy some of the designs, quote unquote steal. He bought some of the designs based off of what was already working. So we already see that why go against the grain? Why have to reinvent the wheel? Why have to feel so stressed to work against what is already working? And especially when it comes to PR and marketing, the power is in the people, in choice. So you do honestly have to listen to what people like. And even though we're all very individual, when it comes to us as a generation, we do share a heartbeat. A generation in community is kind of the same thing. And then when you niche off into like communities that share an interest in the music artist or share an interest in a certain topic or place to travel to, you see that common heartbeat. So follow the heartbeat and then enhance it by 3%. Because when you are enhancing it by 3%, you are still falling into what's already being liked and admired, but making it your own. Therefore, you don't have to do extra convincing to people why they should already like it. You're making it a no-brainer for someone to buy in. Another example of the esoteric bestie, my bestie stole my look, she keeps stealing my sense of style, is the example of the characters Maddie and Cassie in Euphoria. And we see in a point of that scenario where Cassie just starts dressing a lot like Maddie, and we see those projections she's putting onto her friend, and we see fashion, for example, is a very psychological projection on the way we are feeling about ourselves and sometimes our scenarios. We definitely see in our past teens, whether you had an emo stage, whether you had a very revealing sense of style, you conform in a way to what feels familiar and accepted. And that's why you will see a lot of your bestie stealing your sense of style or stealing your taste, because it is very influential. Those close-up relationships are very influential. And then when we see it in peers and we see it in our audience, it shows you how you are onto something. You're definitely onto something and you 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 have taken that idea, that feeling, that manifesto from somebody else's thought realm in their perspective. However, what is the fine line between admiration and limitation? Have I stolen somebody's look or style? I would think so. I think especially from my best friends. I didn't have sisters. And if you have sisters, you definitely see it there. But when you love someone and you love the way they think, you love the way they are attracted to certain sense of styles, you find yourself loving that too. So I think that sense of admiration is very powerful. However, I think it's very important to know that we all have different body styles. We all come from different backgrounds and cultures. I think once you start losing your sense of culture and your background and how it plays into that, then you're just copying. You're copying someone else. But when you are mixing in your own experiences and your own messages, and you say you want to enhance the message behind your look with the way you're feeling. Say the way you're feeling is depressed. What does depression look to you in the way you feel? Sometimes it'll be a sweatshirt with that cute skirt and heels. And depressed is a strong feeling, but say just like reserve, pull back. You might wear a sweatshirt more times out of 10 than say when you're feeling good, you're feeling confident, you're showing a little bit more skin. So those are just examples of just being yourself and not feeling like you're really losing your identity when it comes to falling into your admirations. How do we navigate ethical fashion influence, content creation influence? I think nowadays it's very clear that there is a system at play here, especially when it comes to content creation. There's a system when it comes to involving hooks, SEO, editing, how long something should be because of our very short attention spans. What's appropriate when something is more long as far as content? Should it go on YouTube versus on Instagram? So there's a lane. But when it comes to just taking somebody's content verbatim, and I've seen it, especially I've seen it in a social media content creator. She talks about social media marketing and stuff. And I guess a girl, there's a lot of tea in that realm, because she's been calling out creators that are literally stealing verbatim the way the words pop up on the screen when they do, the emojis she uses, they use them too. Just insane. They're literally copying, right? But the information is nothing she's created. We all know that there's changes in the algorithm. We all know SEO is very important at one point. You know, so at certain times you do have to really fall back and understand that sometimes your ego is playing you up and you're not really seeing yourself also as the participating person in this whole cohesive creative ecosystem. When it comes to the book Steal Like an Artist, let's go through some of the big key points here. Write the book you want to read, meaning you are pretty much going to write a story that you are drawn to from someone else's work. So right there and just write the book you want to read is telling you, take the concept, make it your own. However, you have stories, you have circumstances that God had put you in that can enhance that book. Side projects and hobbies are very important. I think when you are opening yourself up to different hobbies, interests of yourself, it plays into your self-identity. So when you are picking up on ideas and concepts, you are also taking into the different interests. They play a part and they're very connected into how you paint that picture for yourself. The secret is to do good work and show people your good work. Honestly, I think it's really hard for some people to show their work, and sometimes we think of what people are going to think, but you'll be surprised on the community you build naturally just by showing people what you like. I think when we bring it back to our inner child when we're in kindergarten, we're literally doing that. We're like, hi, I like crowns. Hi, I like paint. Hi, I like this. oh, did you hear about this song? And you're learning from music and art from your friends just by sharing. The more you share about yourself, the more you let people into your creative world, the more your inner child feels free and heard. And just when the inner child is playing, it just takes the stress out of what you're building. Even if you are doing something to become business, allow your creativity to soar and share it like as if you are in kindergarten. And one of them is be nice. Definitely be nice. I think being nice is what sets you apart from being inspired and motivated and emulating your idols and who you look up to, versus someone who is just needing to steal because they feel like they need to take something from you or something, or gatekeeping because you feel like there's not enough and you're tapped into scarcity mindset. Be nice. Because 9 times out of 10 when you are nice, people are just like, yes, oh my god, look how they remixed and looped in that old song. Okay, they're making it their own. Versus when people are egoic and they're gonna steal something from someone anyway, people are like, who does that person think they are? You see the difference? You see the difference? All right, Supernova family, that's it for today's podcast. It wasn't a long one, but it's very important because I want you guys to know that you can create from a place of wonder, and you don't need to start from the beginning. You don't need to hustle hard. You don't need to struggle to make something your own. So if you have a podcast where you want to talk about spirituality, astrology, many things, and you're inspired by this podcast, let me know. I would love to support you. And see, just by following one of those guidelines, do what you love and share it, you allow people like me that are, you know, one of the girlies that allow you to sit with us girlies, to really resonate with how you are also interested in this community. And that's how worlds are formed. Thank you guys so much. Do not forget to hit that subscribe and like button. Please push this video out into the internet, into the universe, for those that are feeling a little down and out, that are a little confused and they don't know where to start. Because you can steal like an artist and you can make something your own while emulating your idols. Till next time, family, stay present, stay grateful. Ciao.